Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to another exciting episode on the message this beautiful Jumat. My name is Mariam Owodone. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Thank Almighty Allah for sparing our lives today. We will continue to praise, worship, and thank Almighty Allah. Amen. As we all know that the message is a program dedicated to dismantling doubts and nurturing convictions by addressing relevant topics affecting today's society. This lectures offers our conscious minds ways to address our soul properly according to the Holy Quran. Islam is a religion of peace. Tranquility and psychological calm will only be achieved by believing in Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. We thank Almighty Allah for making us a Muslim. Yes, Islam is a religion of peace, like I said earlier. Muslims are not perfect. We should not forget that they are just striving to be better. May Almighty Allah continue to make it easy on us all. Amen. On today's episode, I have a guest with me here, and we have a very interesting topic we want to discuss on today's episode. We are going to be speaking to the youth, yes, the Muslims youth. That is who we are going to be discussing with on today's episode, and I'm sure inshallah he is going to be doing justice to the topic. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode.
Thank you so much.
Can you please introduce yourself to the viewers at home?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. I'm Owadi Mansour Aro, and I greet all our viewers. Barakah Juma. May we witness more of Juma on the surface of the heart, and may God Almighty Allah continue to be pleased with our nation.
Amen, amen, amen. Thanks for joining us once again. And like I said earlier, that we are going to be discussing with the Muslim youth, yes, on today's episode, and our topic is entrepreneurship, skills acquisition, and technical education. Yes, Muslim youth on call. That is what we are going to be discussing on today's episode. And our guest here, I know he's up to task. Sir, how does this topic relate to Muslims of nowadays?
Thank you so much. In the life of the Muslims, we have an exemplary life where we use as our mandate.
Okay.
And this is our Quran, stories of the prophets, particularly the last of all the prophets of God, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you see all prophets of God, they all have skills. They have that technical education. For instance, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a great entrepreneur. Somebody asks, how did he came about the name Al-Amin, the trustworthy, where people called him? It was through his own business. You remember that Khadija bint Khuwaylid, who later married Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of his trustworthiness in our business. You know, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam worked with Khadija on her business. So, with the trustworthiness of Muhammad, he gained the name Al-Habib. So, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a big entrepreneur. Prophet Dawood alayhi salam, a technical skills know-how. Nabi Dawood alayhi salam, he exemplified technical skills. All the prophets of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they exemplify skills acquisition and technical skills. And as a Muslims who have our watchword are this prophet of God, we just need to see them, how they did things, what was the instruction given to them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what was the result. The result is this: as a Muslim, we must strive to attain success. How do we achieve that? You achieve success by using your hand. Using your hand. Basically, at our tender age, we move to primary school, secondary school, and we go to university. After that, we graduate. Some will go to labor force, while some will use their technical know-how skills to bring food on their table. Meanwhile, as a Muslim, we must understand the fact that we must work. Muslim must strive. We must not be a Muslim who sit down in a place and keep lamenting, keep complaining about the present situation. The situation you must change on your own. For instance, let me divide these categories of people into four. The very first one are the graduates, Muslim graduates. If you are a Muslim graduate and you don't have anything doing, the course you study in the university, get a place, get a marketable way to market that course. If you don't have, learn other skills. That is what we call cross skills. Learn another skill that will complement the university course you study, that will complement your polytechnic course you study. Don't just sit down. Learn that new skills and upgrade it with the course you study. Let me cite another example. If my mother, she is into food business,
Okay.
and eventually I study food technology in the university, do I need to find work again? Only what I need to do as a Muslim is to upgrade the work of my mother, is to upgrade the work of my father. Your father is an electronics or engineering, all these skills acquisition, all this technical education. Eventually, you've learned something similar in the university polytechnics, and you say you don't have any job. Why can't you venture into what daddy is doing? Do it more and upgrade it. This is what we need to do. I'm talking especially to those graduates who are just sitting down at home and complaining. The second category of people are those who don't further their education to the university level. Yes, because of certain reason or the other. You especially, just take your Bible and write it down, that you can learn new skills immediately. When you learn new skills, it will upgrade you. The skills you are learning, is in form of entrepreneurship. For instance, 6 months to a year training, you learn a new skills. After you graduated from that skills, you can start your own. All these skills don't require much in starting. Yes, say to speak. They do not require much to start. What is essential for Muslims who don't further to teacher institution level is to learn skills. When you do that, you will be part of those who contribute to the economy of this nation. The third categories are those who go to madrasas. They don't go to, I don't want to call it informal, it's formal education too. Because if you can read and write, they can speak Arabic fluently, they can read Quran, it's also formal education. When you have this formal education of Quran, you go to Arabic schools, learn skills. I want to encourage the Sultan of Sokoto that all our major madrasas in the country, they must have skills acquisition department. Because their certificate is not equivalent to what we can see. If you have BSc or you have HND, they are not equivalent. But what we can do for them is to have a skills acquisition or technical schools for them. If you go,
they learn it hand
in hand. If you go to our madrasas, you will see brilliant, you will see intelligent students there. But when we confine them to understanding Arabic and understanding Quran and majorly understanding Islam alone, it may not solve the problem. Yes, when we now complement it with skills and technical education, we have a resounding Muslims. When you see them, they are after the Quran. Yes, they have different places to channel. They later become an imam. An imam in Islam must lead salah for people, must congregate with them, and an imam must have job doing. If an Arafah, if an imam, you must have skills. If they ask you, where is our imam? Our imam is in the shop, doing something meaningful, adding to the economy of this nation. Not that an imam will just sit down in the room and people will call like, no. Muslims, we must have things to do. The Muslim of Southwest of Nigeria, they must come to reshape this. All our madrasas, they should have technical educations. When they have this, they will complement the society. Count the numbers of madrasas we have. They are more than the numbers of schools we have in Nigeria. Yes, this will solve security problem, this will solve economic problem, and this will add value to our economy.
Yes, and we need to change the perspectives people are having about Muslims so that they don't do things and they don't amount to nothing. And when people see you are a Muslim, they will keep wondering that how come you are a Muslim? And I'll tell them, why can't I be a Muslim?
It's a lost glory, my sister. The first and second university in the world in Spain and Morocco, in Morocco and Egypt, the first university started from the mosque. Knowledge is the lost glory of Muslims, and we are regaining it. Yes. I'm telling you. People should understand the fact that as a Muslims, you must show them that you have this. Go to Rafi Mewolo University. Go to Ladoke Akintola University. Mention those universities. Those who are leading in major departments are Muslims. Muslims are brilliant, they are very intelligent. Only what we need to attain that is to complement them. Government alone cannot do it. That is why we must
stand up to our responsibility.
Stand up do certain form of entrepreneurial programs and start your own business. Start little and you grow. You cannot attain that height at a minimal point. It's a growing process. You grow little by little to attain it. When they talk about Dangote as a great entrepreneur of Africa, Dangote did not started as he is today.
Yes.
We can remember from somewhere you can see in all household today, Dangote rice, Dangote biscuit, Dangote that. It started from somewhere. As a Muslim, start from somewhere. The little amount you have, the phone you are using is more than 200,000 naira, and you are complaining that Nigeria is not good. Who are you to buy 200,000 naira phone and you are complaining Nigeria is not good? That
we should be realistic.
We should. As a Muslim, start something. If your father has a particular skills that he has learned that he's doing, you can move with your father, learn it over time, and you start it. Every five days, we have marketplaces in all our towns. Our mother who have informal education, every five days, they have money to give to take to their bank.
Yes.
But as a youth, what are we doing?
Another thing I want to say is, even if you are educated, don't see any job as maybe it's below you or you can't do something. There are some people they tell you they can't do this particular job.
Yes, this is one of the value we need to create. We need to see that plumber, that electrician, as a person who is adding value to our society. You get it? Immediately we see them as somebody. People who want to do it will also be happy to do it.
Yes.
Let me share this with you. Our brothers and sisters, our fathers who are in abroad, what are they doing? They are doing all these menial jobs. Yes, it's because they cannot do it in our country, or the value system of our naira is not there. That's why they believe they go there, they will have more opportunity. They are doing all these things. Only what we need is just to admire those things. Yes, I have someone who didn't have any formal education in reality, but technical education he has it.
Okay.
This particular technical education, he did not even go to technical schools. And a man who has a building gave him the contract to do all the plumbing work of that building.
And he did it
perfectly, neatly. This is what we are doing. You can drop your certificate and learn things like that. When you do over time, you will become your own boss too.
Yes.
It's just things of time.
And even having that education will be an advantage.
Added advantage. When you are asked to write quotation, you do it what to do. When you are asked to defend quotation, you know what to do. People will like to relate with you because you have those formal education. Muslim graduates, please don't sit down and complain. Don't sit down and lament. Do something. Start from somewhere. Before you know it, we are moving to 2023 now.
Yes.
2022, remember, it seems as yesterday, right?
Yes.
But 2023 now is another opportunity for us as a Muslim.
Should not wait for manners to fall from heaven. The Almighty Allah continues to have mercy on us all. We are just watching the message, this beautiful Jumat. Yes, the topic we are discussing is entrepreneurship. As Muslims youth, we should be up and doing. Yes, sir, you said all these things. There are some that might be watching us now and they've heard us, they know what we are saying, they've understood, but they are lost. Do you have tips to give them or way to guide them on how to go about it?
Thank you very much. When you have an idea, the first thing is an idea.
Okay.
And what comes with the idea is solving problem. I can repeat that. If you want to have impact in our community, in our society now, get to know a problem and find solution to it.
Okay.
People will pay for it. The very first one is an idea. When you have an idea of a particular problem, now create your own value system. How do you want to solve this problem? What do you need to solve this problem? Do you need additional knowledge to solve it? Get that additional knowledge and move. Move personally. If you need people to join you, let them join you. You achieve greatness together. You achieve greatness together. And that is why mentoring is very essential. Our fathers, our mothers there, we can start a mentoring system for our youth. Some youths have a lot of potentials, but they don't know when to use and how to use their potentials. And that is why mentoring and mentorship is very important in the life of Muslim youths. Let's start mentoring and mentorship programs in our mosque.
And as a society, we should not have this habit that this is not my own. Don't let me help, or don't let me do this thing for this person since it's not my own. Because no one knows tomorrow. You can never tell.
Yes, that is a very great message. Àwọn Yorùbá máa ń sọ pé ojú kan ló ń bímọ, ìgbà ojú ló máa wò. It operated during our stage. But now, if you try to complain or try to correct someone in the society, they will say, Baba, I ain't call it bimio. We should also learn to appreciate people.
Yes, to take advice.
To take advice. When they advise you,
I have this belief that when I see someone correct him, I know this person loves me.
Yes.
Because the person want me to be a better person.
That's great. That is the best thing. We must see those who are correcting us and those who want greatness for us. Because they particularly know that if they don't correct you, you may corrupt their own children.
And they even know better because they've experienced
it. They've passed through the situation. And that is why one in Tom and the Majoko, experience counts when it comes to business. That is why we must learn. We must learn. In this economy of ours, you can start a business as small as 50,000 naira, as small as 100,000 naira. Somebody is asking me, if you multiply 50,000 naira, the wedding you did 1 million, 2 million wedding, and you are crying there is no job for you. Why can't you even ask those parents, hey, my father, my mother, why can't you contribute that money for me to start a business? You spend a lot of money on your wedding, and you are complaining Nigeria is not good. What we need to do as a youth now is to prioritize our agenda, our needs. We should prioritize it. Whatever we want to do, priority matters. Priority matters. You can learn big, you can do big things when you
That's a good one, because at the end of the day, if you don't do these things, when we don't, okay, this is the next thing and this is what I have to do, we just keep getting the same result at the end of the day.
That's it.
Yes, and
that's
we
just
move forward as
we
a society.
move forward, and the bad of it is that the numbers of unemployed keep growing, and when it's not a matter of government alone. Entrepreneurship as a Muslim, we have transportation. Go and ask those who are doing transportation. They will tell you they are making a lot of money
from it.
Don't just look that Baba who is into transport business as a local person. The local person that is paying, that have 5 graduates. You are saying he's a local person. He have 5 children and is treating them conveniently. With this transportation, we have all levels of transportation. You say an Okada rider as somebody who is not fine in society. No, it's because he don't want to be collecting from people. Yeah, that is why he started. That is why he started things like that. Transportation is there.
And another thing, as a society, when we see these people that are doing this, we should encourage them.
Definitely.
Yes. There are some people that have these habits that tend to look down on people.
On them. And if those who are looking down on people, ask them, they don't have what people want. Who they are looking down at. They don't have it. It's just a mentality of a wrong perspective from people. We have food business there. We have distributorship. Yes. There are a lot of companies who need some people who will get their license.
And the end users.
Yes. In terms of drugs, in terms of, we have Eco-Rights now. Yes. Eco-Rights now. Some people who understand business will have go to Lagos State and say, I want to be the distributor for Eco-Rights. Yes. People are moving. People are thinking. Youth like us. All these youth they are saying, people will say they are Yahoo boys. They are not really Yahoo boys. They are doing legitimate business. Yes, I want to assure Nigerian youths are very hardworking, sincerely yours. Our fathers, our mothers at home. Please, let's support our youth. Any youth that have great ideas, let's support them. It's not when time for election or electioneering period. That is when we know the advantage. Any youth that brings up an idea for us, this idea, we must conceptualize it so that this youth can be a success story of our community.
Thank you very much, sir. What advice you have for youth at home, especially those that are not having the zeal to do these things?
I would like to motivate them and tell them that you cannot be in your father's home forever. You have free food, right? And that's why you're happy. You don't pay for electricity. That's why you're happy. Time will come when mom and dad will say, "Oh, I'm not jadilo. I'm going to be Benita." They have been saying that to you, right? Oh, yeah, I must move out. Move out from your convenience environment and find something meaningful to do with your knowledge. Nigeria is money-driving economy. That's part of the problem. And we must be knowledge-driving economy. When we have knowledge-driving economy, things will move forward. It's China. They produce things, but in Nigeria, we are the end users. We use it. We consume a lot. And that is why, as youth, find the problem in your community, have the idea of that problem, create an enabling environment for yourself, and people will pay for it.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for joining us on today's episode once again. Yes, we stars so we really appreciate your presence. Exactly like I hope when we call you once again, you will come to us.
Inshallah.
My prayer for all those who are at home is may Almighty Allah grant our utmost desire. Yes. And don't forget that we should always have the fear of Almighty Allah in whatever we do. I know as a person sometimes we tend to relent or we tend to have this doubting mind. Yes, but don't let us have it. Continue praying and striving better. May Almighty Allah continue to make it easy on us. So, my name is Mariam Owodoni. Thanks for joining us on today's episode on the message. This is where we will be ending today's episode. See you next time, same time on the same station. Inshallah.
من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم ربنا واجعلنا مسلمين لك ومن ذريتنا أمة مسلمة لك وارنا مناسكنا وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ربنا وابعث فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكي